Hey everyone, it's me, Canadensis, and today I have this big box from the Disney store, and you guys already know what's in here from the thumbnail. I appear to have gotten number 1357. My luck in getting good numbers has officially died. I'm going to cut the top of this box open and get her out of here, and I will be right back. All right, let's get her out of here. Oh my god. Wow, the color of the box is really pretty. I was kind of expecting the Midnight Masquerade box color scheme. So, all right, moment of truth. I'm gonna pan the camera up a little so it'll be at eye level. Let's see her. Oh, we're still not at eye level. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Okay. She's so pretty. This doll's box design is super pretty. So it says Hercules up at the top. We've got the cloud design and some columns. It says 25th anniversary over here on a sticker. You can see Meg in there, and she's actually really well presented, and I like the pose they have her in. Her background is just Mount Olympus, most likely. We've got some gold foiling down here. It says Megara, and it says she's limited to 7,200. And then if we turn around, we can see the side of the box also has that gold foil and the leaves and the columns and all that fun design stuff. And then on the far back we have two Pegasi, and it says she's a damsel, she's in distress, and she does not need rescuing. Disney artists are proud to present this limited edition Megara doll that celebrates our confident heroine. Meg, what her friends would call her if she had any, isn't afraid to step up to Hercules or Herculean monsters. Join in on adventures with this keepsake of our fierce leading lady, perfect for fans and collectors. And then it's also in French. And we've got the bow tie, and yeah. And then this side, of course, is going to be exactly the same. And I bought this doll for, I believe they retail at like $129, and with shipping they end up around $140. Not shipping, I'm sorry, tax. Shipping is free if you use the code SHIPMAGIC on Disney, shopdisney.com, at least in America. I really like this box design. I think it's very pretty, but even if I was the type of person who liked to keep a lot of dolls in box, my whole background is box dolls, but I mostly have my dolls out of box, like the vast majority of my collection. I tend to unbox all of my dolls. I just prefer them that way. But these boxes, although they're interesting and they have fun details, I'm not really inclined to want to keep my dolls in box. I feel like these boxes are a lot more delicate, and I loved those bigger boxes that I believe like 2017 Moana, she was 2017, right? Maybe late 2016, was one of the last dolls to use that box, and it was so cool and like big and felt a lot more luxurious. This one, I really do like this design, don't get me wrong, but like, I'll show you, like, I just got this doll and she already has these big scratches across the back. I don't know. It's not the best, and I have a feeling stacking these would not end well. Anyway, I'm gonna get her out of the box now. All right, so I've untied the bow, and now we have to lift the plastic. These boxes are so many different pieces. And then this part, and then we've got the certificate, and I'm gonna cover the number because people always question me when I do this, but scammers will take screenshots from people's Instagram and stuff where they post their doll and use it to try to scam people. So my number is 1357, like it said on the outside of the box. So that's why I cover the number, and I suggest you do the same. I get some weird judgy comments when I do it. Not lying about the number. I never really get a good number anyway. All right, and then I need to get her out of the box. So the way I do it, you can go through the back way and like untie all this stuff and cut it, but generally it's much faster to just come through here and snip all of the rubber bands, and you can do it very delicately. And down here is where you run into some problems, but you just have to be really careful and not pull it all, but also not have your scissors too close to the dress. I hate that they use the fabrics that they use that fray really easily, but then they don't, I mean, they put these ties through them, so you end up with these big, hideous spots where you can tell where the ties were. So let me take this out. At least these ones, they're kind of hiding, like they put this one on a corner, but you can totally see that. It's so frustrating. All right, I'm gonna switch to time lapse now. I will be right back. Megara is now out of the box, and she's so beautiful. I'm so happy that they made a 17-inch doll of Megara. I have the Midnight Masquerade one from I think 2 years ago, and she's one of my all-time favorite dolls in my entire doll collection, and I just really like Megara in general, but I think they did such a fantastic job on these particular dolls' faces, so I'm, again, just really, really happy that they made her. Is she perfect to me? No. The only issue that I have, though, is this eyebrow thing. I wish that I had skills in painting, because I would fix this so fast. I can't stand, and Disney keeps doing this, when dolls have, like, one eyebrow higher than the other, because it makes them permanently in that expression, and when you're only going to be doing one doll of the character, I don't know, it kind of takes away from it. But other than that, I'm pretty sure everything's going to be positive, although I haven't gotten to take a close look at everything just yet, because we're going to do that together. So first of all, we have a couple of spots on her face from the hair gel, but those will come right off with soapy water, so I'm not worried about it. But her face is overall fairly simple, super stylized, and it's got that very like flat color thing going on because it's based on, you know, Megara from Hercules. And I really love the way that they did the art style on the face. I think it's very pretty. The very simple makeup, the purple eyes, the lip shape and color, the subtle blushing, very, very pretty. And she's got these really gorgeous earrings as well. Oh wow, they're metal. Are these really metal? It could just be that they're plated, but they feel very cold to the touch. That's really impressive, actually. Wow. This Megara did have metal, the Midnight Masquerade one. Sorry, I have her over here because we're going to do a little bit of a comparison because they do have quite a few things in common, which makes sense. Ooh, her headpiece is, it's like a chain. Really interesting. It's very, very pretty. And her hair, I know a lot of people are scared to unbox dolls specifically because they're not sure what to do with the hair. I will say that her hair is like unmoving. There's no way this hair could get messed up. It's so harshly gelled, which is a good idea for a doll that's meant to stay in box or stay with an exact hairstyle, so totally understandable. And framing her face, she has her big swoopy bang. Of course it would be bigger in the movie, but they went for what they thought looked good on the doll, and I think it looks very good as well. And then she has these little curls all around in different spots. Really, really pretty. I really like the curls, and I'm very impressed with the metal earrings. I feel like out of all of the Disney Ellies I have, maybe one of them has metal earrings like this, so that's really cool. One thing I'm super impressed by, and this might just be because this is a 17-inch doll, and I've never had a 17-inch doll that has this much hair in a high ponytail, her head is very secure, and it doesn't tend to lean back or get stuck backward. Some of my Jasmine limited edition dolls that are designer dolls have a problem where their head just constantly gets stuck backward. Yzma has it really bad too. So I really appreciate that Megara seems to have a much more sturdy body, and I really, really like her profile. It looks exactly like it would in the movie. The sculpt is so phenomenal on these. I know they're using this sculpt. They've just sized it up, but I think it looks good in both scales, and I'm very, very grateful for it because the Mattel Megara sculpt is cute, but not nearly this cute. The dress had me very surprised when this doll first leaked because I was very much expecting a much lighter purple like she has in the movie, but I do prefer this kind of almost magenta-y purple, and it seems like they probably just really, really liked how that looked on the Midnight Masquerade doll and transferred it over. I definitely prefer this to the color that it is in the Mattel dolls and the movie, so I'm very happy with it. Although I will say that I think the color of the shawl piece versus the color of the dress kind of clashes, not in a major way, but it's kind of confusing. It looks like they go to different dolls. She has metal little straps. They're not, do those count as straps? They don't function, but you can make them function. They are big enough where you can have them fit like straps, but I like the off-the-shoulder look a lot better. The bodice of the dress has this big triangular piece that's actually just draped over it, so you can see that it's actually a sweetheart neckline. Really nice darts, and it's very well fitted to the doll, and there's a nice little trim around the top piece, which is a very subtle detail that they really didn't have to do, and I appreciate that they did do it. And this piece is quite interesting, huh? It's just on the front. Very cool. Not really sure what that functionally does exactly, but it's pretty neat. And the fabric's super pretty. It's the same, is it the same fabric as they used on her? No, it's not actually, it's different. I really thought it was the same. It has this like color shift to it. I know it looks kind of wild on camera, but that's really what it looks like in person. It's very pretty. I really like it. I hope they continue to use this sort of fabric because I think it looks awesome. Sorry, that was a tie that was stuck from the packaging, but as you can see, all is good. This piece is satin, but it's the, if you've been on my channel, you know I absolutely despise satin, but I will say that this is actually some really nice quality, very soft and heavier satin. and I like it. And they only had a couple of ties in this, but look, this is what happens when you put holes through satin, or even just barely rub something like maybe your fingernail. If it's not perfectly smooth, it'll cause snags like this, and this is why I hate satin so much. And as you can see, they've tied it to the dress in various spots. So unless you leave the doll in box or exactly as she was packaged, you're gonna have these big snags. And sometimes even if you leave her in the box, you'll still have these snags. So I really, really wish they would stop doing that. There has to be a better way to package these dolls. I don't know. It is very frustrating, but it's not too big of a deal. It's not that noticeable. For now, I want to leave the shawl pinned to the dress, so I will show it to you on the doll. I'm very impressed that they didn't just hem this, they actually hemmed it and then put another layer of organza over it and sewed those together. So you don't have those weird hems like on the Midnight Masquerade Tiana doll, where the hems on the organza pieces that come off her sleeves are really like strange, because it's really hard to hem this fabric, and even when you do, it starts to twist around and be weird. So they actually sewed another piece to the back of this one. I feel like this doll just addressed every concern I had with every single other one of the dolls except the eyebrow thing. But the eyebrow thing is an equality thing. That's just my taste, so I don't know. But beautiful, beautiful gold foiling all over, and it's got this flower pattern. Oh, we've got a little lightning bolt there, leaves. Really, really pretty. I wish the color matched a little better with the magenta, but it is really gorgeous, and I do think it matches pretty well with the rest of the look. Metal bracelets! All right, is this one bracelet or... Yeah, so this is one bracelet meant to look like multiple, I guess. So we've got this big one, and then a bunch of smaller ones, and then we have the same one on this side, so they're kind of like cuffs at this point. I can't believe they're metal. That is so impressive. And then she has this big flower, like she's doing I Won't Say I'm in Love, which is awesome. I love that song. And this flower has a really cool detail. It's a really cool accessory, actually. I really like when they come with a little like storytelling accessory like this. I feel like the LEs don't normally, but when they do, they're really, really cool. Like the Voyager Moana with the giant oar that she comes with. Well, both Moanas come with that, but I really appreciate it. This is a comically large flower, but I like it. If we move down the dress, we can see that there's this big belt, just fabric tied around her waist, and I did talk about it earlier with the satin thing, but it is super, super soft, nice satin, which I appreciate, and it looks gorgeous on camera. I feel like the fabrics that they picked were very well chosen with each other because they have a similar flashback to the camera against light, which I really appreciate. A big criticism I have with a lot of limited edition style dolls is that they pick out nice fabric, but they don't think about how the fabrics are going to kind of interact with each other and with your eyes, so it comes out kind of weird. But this doll was very well designed. I'm very impressed with her. So she has this big metal, again, flower charm with a little rhinestone, and then chains that go all the way around and meet over here. They are pinned in place right here, but you could unpin them because it's kind of weird that they're triangular like that. And then meet back up. That's a really cool detail. I really like it. And the belt is kind of like perfectly tied and sewn into this position. You could take it off and reposition it, but I feel like it would not look as nice. So unfortunately, that's not a piece you can play around with much, but it looks very, very good on the doll. And then the embroidery starts right at the waistline for the skirt, and it's really, really cool. So we have that square spiral shape that is a huge motif in Hercules. And I love this. I really love when they do embroidery. I'm not one of those snobs that thinks that only dolls with embroidery are high quality, because I think that's really silly. Sometimes the doll just doesn't call for embroidery, or it would look weird or heavy, but this is a perfect example of where it fits very well. You can see that this is on that shifting fabric again, which I love, and it's got rhinestones all over the trim and really specifically placed all over this really, really beautiful part of the skirt with the design on the corner. It's very, very nice, and I love the golden embroidery floss that they used. They actually used two different golden embroidery flosses, so this one is much more yellow of a gold, and this looks silver, but it is gold. It's just a much lighter gold. It's really, really nice. Oh, these are actually like S-shaped ones here. And then moving to the front, it is open, so it's open all the way starting at the hip, just right where the seam is, and then underneath we have, I love this fabric. I have no idea what it is, but I see it a lot. I think it's super cool. It's like stretchy. I don't know. Is it called shirred? I don't think so, actually. I think shirring is something different, but anyway, I really like this fabric, and it's very pretty, and I think the color is really nice. They picked kind of like a plum color for it. It's a bit more muted than this purple, but I think that works because it doesn't draw attention away from these statement pieces on the dress, but it still gets the job done, and I think it's super gorgeous. And then underneath, the shoes, which you never get to see if you leave your doll inbox, which is such a shame. These are actually some of my favorite limited edition doll shoes. I've never seen them in 17-inch size though, not that I remember anyway, I might have. But the first doll I remember coming with these shoes was designer Premier Tiana. That was the first doll that I had that came with them, and I loved them. And then they reprised them for this doll here in gold, as you can see, and they've brought it back for this Megara, and it looks like they actually updated the mold a bit because the 12-inch doll has pointed toes, which I'm not a big fan of pointed toes, and then this one does still have pointed toes, but I don't know, they're kind of rounder, but maybe that's just an effect of how much bigger they are, I don't know. But these are pretty cool because they're actually ribbon laced through these little holes in the plastic on the shoes. It's super cool. Super cool, I love it. And unfortunately, it seems we're sticking with these awful stands. I hate them. They make the doll fall over really easily. I feel like they switched to this because if you have an out-of-box display, it's really hard to display them next to each other because their stands were so big. But the stands were big for a reason. It served a functional purpose. Now it's too small. And they just fall over because these dolls are quite heavy, actually, which I really love. Alright, so now I wanted to compare her to the only other limited edition Megara doll they've ever done. If you're not super familiar with Disney limited edition dolls, there are two different series. This is the designer series where they deviate a lot more from the standard character designs to give you more interesting outfits. And this doll is Megara from the 2019 Disney designer Midnight Masquerade series. There is another Midnight Masquerade series that came out in 2020 for the villains. And then this doll is from the 17-inch series, which is kind of these are the ones that are actually called Disney limited edition dolls. Generally, if you hear someone say Disney LE, they're referring to these. I call them both limited edition because they are. It's just that these ones are 12 inches and these ones are 16 to 18. People will call them different things, but I generally call these 17 inches. I think now they officially call them 16 inches though. And as you can see, they're just different scaled dolls. And generally these ones are going to be much closer to the actual designs from the movies or whatever other media they're pulling from. And then these ones get a little bit more creative. So I actually prefer these ones, but I love the size of the 17-inch ones. It feels so luxurious and interesting. And both of the dolls actually retail at the same cost. So right now they're each, if you order them if you order them in America, there's gonna be taxes, so they go for around $140 each at retail. I believe it's $129 is the actual retail cost, like the official one. Starting off, the faces I do believe are the same mold. They've just sized this one up, which is totally fine. But I prefer the face style on the old one. I think the smaller pupils and irises actually really fit Megara really well. It makes her look a lot sassier. This one looks a lot sweeter, which makes sense because she does have the flower from the song, so she's, I don't know. But this one has a more neutral expression despite being Megara, and this one's very much, I don't know, I hate the cocked eyebrow thing. I don't get it. I really wish they would stop doing it because now you can't, I don't know, it's a very specific way to display the doll. And both of them have rooted eyelashes that are the same, so there's a longer one on the outside. They do this like feathered look. It's very pretty. I really love it. And they have very similar makeup. This one's just a lot more purple, and this one's a lot more pink. Hair, exact same color, exact same material, styled nearly identically. This one actually has more tiny curls, which is surprising to me because it would be harder to do on the smaller doll. And then this one has this chain instead of this one having this just big crown piece. I think I prefer the look of this one. And this one has no earrings. And then in terms of the top of the dress, they're very, very different. But again, these deviate a lot more. This one goes for light colors as the accent, light purpler colors. And this one's a lot more magenta. This one's a lot more purple in general, except we have a couple of kind of magenta looking areas, like the makeup, for example. And if we move down, yeah, they're pretty different, but they still have a similar thing going on. We have a lot more. We have some embroidery up here as opposed to a completely undetailed top on this one. Oh, but she has this pauldron that's actually metal on this one. This doll blew my mind. Like, I have, I think like 30 or more Disney limited edition dolls, and this one is my favorite. I think she is absolutely incredible. She's really, really well done. And then this one does also have metal. It's weird because mostly Disney LEs do not come with metal accessories, so it was kind of surprising that this one had so many. And then this new Megara is doing the same thing, although the 17-inch dolls will more likely come with metal than the others. And this is what I was talking about earlier with how I'm very impressed with the way they did this, where they hemmed it. You can tell they hemmed it, but then they sewed another piece of organza on top. And here you can see when they just hem this, and this isn't organza, this is chiffon, I believe, but it'll fold on itself, it'll twist up, it'll have these weird, like, pucked areas. It's just not ideal, so this is a lot better of an option. This doll uses that, like, crappy satin. I hate it. So as you can see, I just moved, so that's why this doll isn't, like, as pampered as she would normally be on shelf. But yeah, this is crappy satin, and this is actually the really nice, luxurious, more expensive satin, which I appreciate. I hate satin, though. And then this one has the gold foiling with rhinestones, as opposed to the embroidery with rhinestones. But again, I'm not an embroidery snob. This skirt is made on a sheer material. Embroidery would look like a disaster. I mean, it could look good, but overall, such as on this doll, actually, is that the same material? I don't know. This one's got that, like, chrome effect to it. It's so pretty. And it's got satin underneath. But anyway, if you put embroidery on this sort of material, it gets very heavy and it won't flow right. And then again, they do actually just have the same shoes, which I don't mind. I saw people complaining about that, which I don't understand. I guess if you're not super familiar with how toy production works, it might seem cheap and weird that they would do that, but in order to produce plastic doll accessories, they have to have, like, humongous refrigerator-sized, monstrous, they're called tools, and they pour the resin inside, or the plastic or whatever material they're using, and that's how it works. So reusing designs really is not that big of a deal. It's actually better, like, if they're both gonna have gladiator sandals and they both have a similar thing going on and there's not a very distinct design element to it, then it's much better for the environment, just in general. And of course it does save costs, but it's not like they didn't mold new things for this doll or anything. And the main draw to these dolls for me, because you can't even see the shoes, the people complaining about the shoe thing are people who don't even touch their dolls, they just put them on the shelf, which is fine. But it's weird to me to complain about the shoes when you will never see them in your life because your doll is in the box forever. It's kind of weird to me. But the main draw to these dolls to me is the outfits. The plastic accessories are never very interesting. Sometimes they have really cool metal accessories, which is very fun, but these are not, like, the plastic accessories are never super impressive. That's it for this video. I'd love to know what you guys think of the 17-inch Megara doll, and if you've never seen this one before, you can let me know how you feel about this one too. Again, this is one of my all-time favorite dolls, so it's not super fair to compare them, but I'm very, very happy to see Megara in the 17-inch scale because I have, like, an absolute pipe dream to have every single character in 17-inch size. Every single character that they release. Obviously, they're not going to do them all. And I'm so grateful that they're releasing all these, like, rare characters like Kida and Esmeralda. By the way, if you are a fan of Atlantis or Hunchback of Notre Dame, those 17-inch dolls are still on the Disney website. And if you're in Europe, they are $30 right now. It is absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend picking them up. I think Esmeralda and Kida were both really, really spectacular entries into the Disney LE books, I guess, the history books of them. It's just that, you know, people think that the quality has dropped quite a bit, and I don't really see it all that much, and I have dolls spanning a decade from both of these lines, and I don't know. I do think there's a lot of stylistic decisions that people don't super like. I personally love when we get really out there, different designs. That's very exciting to me, but I understand that it's not for everybody. I love these dolls. I really do. I think they're so cool. They're very expensive. They're definitely more expensive than they should be, but I really love them. I do. And they've increased the edition size so much that they stay on the website for months, which is awesome. It means that they're more accessible to everyone. Scalpers aren't snatching them all up like they normally do. Right now is a great time if you're tentatively interested in these dolls and you want, like, a stress-free experience to buy them. You know, it's just a stress-free environment to collect these right now, and I'm sure after a while they're gonna lower the edition sizes again, especially because Ultimate Princess Celebration has not had a single doll sell out yet, and people are trying to act like that's because of the merit of the dolls themselves. By the way, stay tuned. The next Disney video you're gonna see is going to be an unboxing of one of the Ultimate Princess Celebration dolls. I bought one! I have 3 now, so you can go ahead and guess which one I bought in the comments. I wonder if y'all will be able to guess. I was very, very excited to get the one that I got. She was my most wanted, probably. Well, I have 2 most wanteds for an obvious reason, but we'll see. We'll see if you got it. It's not Tiana, though. I really do want to get Tiana, but it was a different one actually. Anyway, that's it for this video. I get very, very frustrated seeing the Disney LE people. They are a new breed of doll collector. Can you call them a doll collector at that point? Trophy collectors? I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this video. Sorry, I'm having so much trouble with the glare in her eyes in particular. But people like shiny eye paint. I just really hate it. I really, really hate it. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!